Hello. Today I'm making a short video on something that I've been noticing being discussed in a lot of public channels for the game, so like the in-game chat, Discord, sometimes even forums. Uh, a few people were wondering whether some of these things do happen or don't happen, and I didn't see too many concrete answers to it. So I'm just gonna be making a short sort of myth busting video where I go over 3 of the most popular myths that I've seen and trying to confirm whether they are true or not. So these all will have in-game examples, and some of them will have multiple ones to cover most of the cases. So the first myth will be that the basically once you craft an item that you already own, that the substats will be re-rolled again rather than kept. So to do this, I've got a random thing from one of the dungeons yesterday. As you can see, the substats and stats for it are the main stat is defense, and the substats are crit damage, attack, and HP. And I use this ring for crafting, and essentially after crafting, the stats have been, drumroll, rerolled. The main stat is kept, however, the substats, all 3 of them will be completely rerolled. So if you do get a equipment piece with horrible substats, but it can be used for crafting, there's one option for you to get a chance to upgrade the ring, and in most cases the upgrade will not be too expensive unless you are going for those very high tier rings. And yeah, so for the first myth, yes, the stats do get rerolled. Only the substats, it seems like, get rerolled, unless I got super lucky with the main defense stats. But yeah, so for the first myth, that's it. Second win, I think this one is the most discussed one. So I wanted to test all scenarios about it, and essentially what we'll be looking at is whether the bonus that you get from having higher power than the enemy is kept after removing the unit or adding a unit. So I've written all 4 possible cases. So let me just bring up the file right here. Right, so the first case will be entering a stage with bonus and checking the damage. The way I'm checking this is I'm seeing how much damage the boss deals with the same attack. So you'll be seeing that little charging jump attack that the water skeleton thingy does. And essentially I'm gonna be testing 4 scenarios. So the first one will be entering the stage with a bonus, so I would be receiving less damage and still keeping the unit to check the base damage in the first place. Then for the second one, I will be entering with a penalty, so I'll be receiving 75% more damage and seeing the base damage with the penalty. The third scenario will be entering with the bonus and mid-battle removing the cat. So my total overall power would be in the range of a penalty. However, I enter the stage with a bonus and seeing the damage then. And the fourth scenario is actually flipped. So entering the stage with a penalty and later on substituting some units so that my power would be higher than the enemy's team power. So yeah, for the first one, I think took quite a bit some time to get a hit here, if I believe. Yeah, so here's the attack charging. Essentially, we're looking for this charge attack where the skeleton jumps at you with a sword, and in most cases applies the frostbite effect. And with a bonus and with the same team intact, the boss will do 2254 damage, so remember this number. Yeah, so with a bonus, you are receiving 2254 damage. Now that I'm entering with a 75% damage penalty, and I'll be taking a hit with a penalty. So just to see it, no units here, my power is way below the boss's power, and we're waiting for that circle attack. he gets a few hits, and there's the attack, and he deals 5,260 damage. So clearly the penalty was applied here. So the first one with a bonus was around 2,250, and without bonus and with the penalty 5,260. Now I'm gonna test both of these scenarios that have been discussed. So first of all, I'm entering the stage with a bonus. However, I'm gonna be removing the cat midway. So as you can see, I entered the stage, but then I remove it to get myself back to 160k, 106,000 power. So that will be in the penalty range that I entered previously. And checking the damage, once the skeleton does the attack, there you go. It is the same 2,254 damage that was dealt with the cat in my team previously. So the bonus that you entered your battle with is kept regardless of which units you switch in. And now for the opposite effect, I'm gonna be entering the stage with a penalty. As you can see, 75% increased damage. However, I will be adding units for up to 215,000 power, which would put me in the bonus range. As you can see, I'm putting a cat, but I realized that it does not have enough power due to the elemental bonus not being applied, so I just add another unit, and at 218,000 we would be getting the bonus. And we're just gonna wait for the hit, and there's the charged attack, and 5,260 damage. So that means that if you enter the stage with a penalty, and even during the stage, if you switch some of your units in to cover that power difference that's needed, you are still fighting with a penalty in the game. And for the third myth, this one's a bit rare that I've seen, but I did see it being mentioned a few times and wanted to cover it. So the myth itself was that higher attack speed units, basically the more they attack, the lower their cooldowns get. So I wanted to test this with Economia. So first of all, I just gave her my regular Bastet's build, I think, and she's sitting at 111 speed. And we'll be testing her cooldowns. I was messing around a bit with the skill usage here, so it switches to here. And around here, she will be using her heal. So she popped her heal at 55 seconds of the video. And as you can see, she currently has 111 speed. We're waiting for her cooldowns to come up. She used her second skill, but it doesn't affect her third skill, so that is not an issue at all. She does not have any, first of all, she does not have any effects that affect her cooldown regeneration speed or anything like that, so it's all fair game here. And the cooldown is up at 111, so that's 17 seconds. So basically it is intact with her 18-second cooldown on her heal once the skill is maxed. And now testing it with a different build. So I'm gonna be putting her on an attack speed build, so just my regular Karambits build, who has 203 attack speed in total, so that's around 90 attack speed higher. Yeah, as you can see, she both has a swift set and decent attack speed. And now we're entering the stage here. Let me see where the skill gets used. Yeah, somewhere here. So she's getting hit, and once I hit the boss, she uses the skill at 215. And I allowed her to actually do hits just in case it mattered. As you can see, Konamiya is doing basic attacks on the boss. She used her skill at 2 minutes 15, and her skill is up. And as you can see, again, it's around 17 seconds. So even with high attack speed, the skill cooldowns do not get affected at all, so we can safely bust that myth. And yeah, I hope this helps you out to clear any doubts regarding all three of these scenarios. So just so you could make an educated decision in case you plan on doing some of these things, like trying out various Swift builds on your cooldown units, or thinking of cutting equipment and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.